boosters. You might notice this little veil and a white silk robe. I am getting wedding ready. I decided to do my own makeup trial. I am so picky when it comes to makeup, and I like to pride myself that I do a good makeup job. So follow me along. If you want to see how I accomplish this look, please continue to watch. Okay, beauty boosters, as you guys know, I am getting married in about 2 months. I decided that I'm gonna do my own makeup trial. I know I'm really gutsy for doing that, but being an injector, I just notice every little thing. And I've realized that every time I get my makeup done, I absolutely hate it. Some people love to be pampered and glammed, and while I would love that experience too, my big day, I know that if it doesn't come out the way that I envisioned, I would be particularly disappointed, and it would be something that would become bothersome throughout the night. Also, makeup trials, I did do one and I did not like it. Nothing against the makeup artist. She had a beautiful look, but I realized that for you girls doing a makeup trial, make sure you're really, really clear and very, very specific with your makeup artist, because I think that's what caused this to fail. So if I can give you any advice, definitely pull up inspiration photos from Pinterest and Instagram. I want to get into it, but before I do, look how cute this little personalized robe is. I got off of Etsy. It says Mrs. McDowell in rose gold, so I feel extra bridal. I went ahead and washed my face. I used the Obagi exfoliating cleanser, my tried and true. I love it. It's literally the only cleanser that gets off my makeup in one go. And then I applied the Skin Better Trio. This is literally my favorite moisturizer because it comes out as like a serum, so it's not really creamy or thick or cakey, that I think will mesh really, really well with the makeup. So let's get into it. Usually I like to start with my eye makeup. Some people like to start with their face, but I'm more of an eye makeup girl. I'm gonna start out with my eyeshadow primer, my tried and true, which is the MAC Painterly Pro Longwear Paint Pot. I've tried some other ones, but it just never really cut it. I'm gonna go ahead and use my ring finger. I've tried, I think, the Urban Decay one, a few other ones, and it's a little too creamy. This one matches my skin tone really nicely. And what I noticed back from my partying days at the club, this would allow my makeup to stay on literally all night. And sometimes if I'd sleep with my makeup on, like a bad little girl, this would, like my makeup, my eyeshadow would still look good the next day. So I'm just applying it all over and going all the way up to my brow bone and in my inner canthus, such a medical term, and my outer canthus. And I'm gonna repeat the same. And I like that it takes out all the red and all the brown. So, real life stuff. Planning a destination wedding during a pandemic in 3 months while running Beauty Boost on my own, because you know Miss Heather has had a baby and I'm so happy for her, is particularly hard. I've definitely had a couple meltdowns, and I think this is normal for any bride because you don't really understand the full grasp of planning a wedding until you're like really in it. And while I have a pretty good planner, it's still a lot to think about. Like, I don't have time to go shopping for a bridal shower outfit or my bachelorette, or thinking about what to wear at the pool, you know, during the wedding, and just, you know, I don't have the luxury of shopping and trying on stuff. So I'm like ordering stuff every day and packages are coming in. Definitely going through that. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this makeup palette by Mario. It came out highly recommended by the makeup artist that was doing my trial. It has a bunch of really nice neutrals. So I think this is the look I'm gonna go for. Hanny loves me natural, like I think a lot of guys do with their girlfriends, fiancés, and wives. So I'm gonna respect that, because my idea of glam is like literally glitter on your eyelids, winged liner, a little smoke, lashes that go 5 inches out of your face, but we're not gonna do that for the wedding day. So I always like to start with the crease. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a nice fluffy brush. I like to use the Morphe fluffy brush. I'm so sorry the numbers are worn off because I've used it so many times. And I'm gonna go in with this shade here, and we're just kind of gonna go all over the crease. Okay, so little fun story. I always wanted to be a makeup artist, like literally my dream aspiration. I thought it was so cool to be artsy and creative and make people look beautiful and glam. And I wanted to go to beauty school, but my dad, you know, really wanted me to get an education first in terms of like getting a degree and then going to beauty school. And long story short, I found this like little alternative in college that I could actually combine beauty with medicine, which is, I really liked science. And it inspired me to intern for a dermatologist in San Juan Capistrano. He was a dermatologist, Dr. Jeffrey Klein. He let me follow his nurse practitioner around, not really him. And she like did everything the doctor did. And then she did like these really cool cosmetic injections. So like that's what I want to do. I think that's a great combo. I think that's going to please my dad. I think I'm going to love it. So that's how I kind of got into it. The next color I'm going to go into to help blend this crease is going to be the one right beneath that. And I'm going to go ahead and grab MAC 217. This brush has been like such a staple in my brush collection since I was in high school. Like, haven't found anything like it. I've definitely tried, but I'm just going to go into the outer crease. And I will tell you, this palette is very nice to apply, especially if you're like a beginner. Some of these pigmented palettes that I notice have like a great color payoff, and I think, you know, professional makeup artists really enjoy that, are a little bit too hard to work with as a beginner because you just are still getting a flow of like your dexterity. So I really like how this is a buildable one. I'm gonna grab a fluffy Morphe M441 and I'm gonna go ahead and just keep buffing it out. So things that I'm nervous about for the wedding day doing my own makeup is, will I be hungover? Will I be tired? Will I be stressed out? Will I be bothered a lot? I notice like when I'm under pressure, I start getting weird. Like I do things that I never did before. And this kind of happens, I notice when I inject family members, is like I get really like excited and nervous, and I'll start injecting like dosing and products in areas that I normally wouldn't. So I don't know if you guys are like that, but I definitely notice that this is something that I do under pressure. That's something that I am concerned about. I'm just building over the lighter brown that I used as a transition, and I'm buffing it out. So going back to my makeup days, I used to watch Jaclyn Hill all the time. I still do. Love you, Wacky Jackie. She has this like little nickname that I adore. I used to say, we're best friends. Ooh, she just doesn't know it yet. And oh my gosh, I would love to inject her, but she doesn't. I don't know if she lives in LA, but I should probably reach out to her. Maybe we would be best friends. She was so like, loved the application of makeup. So I think that's what I always think of in terms of blending and applying my makeup. I always think of her. So that's looking pretty good, but I want to add a little more depth. So I'm gonna go in with one of these two, maybe a hybrid, but let's start with the lighter shade of that. And I'm gonna grab this little pointy one. Speaking of Jaclyn Hill, this is the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill collaboration. It is her JH40. And like I said, I'm gonna go in with that lighter brown next to the darker one. And I'm just gonna go ahead and build and kind of work my way in. I was like trying to brainstorm like how do I really wanna look in terms of my makeup for the wedding day? And I went through a bunch of Instagrams just to get inspiration now that I didn't have a successful makeup trial. And I'm like, ooh, I really like that smoky eye, or ooh, I like that cut crease, or I do like a little shimmer. No, I like all matte, and I keep going back and forth. But I think when it comes to your wedding day, just neutrals is always a home run, because you just don't know. You don't know how metallics are gonna look, you don't know how smoky eye is gonna look. And I think I should definitely invest in some waterproof mascara and eyeliner, because I think I'm gonna be a big crybaby when it comes to the actual ceremony. So many people say, enjoy this process, enjoy it, it's gonna come and go. I'm really trying. It is fun. It is fun. I think it's just a lot for anyone in such a short time. But then there's a flip side, right? There's that flip side that, okay, you don't have to spend like a whole year making yourself go crazy and second guessing yourself. You just have to go for it. So I do like just kind of going for it and trusting like your first instinct, because you just don't have time to second guess it. So there is that silver lining too. Also, because things are opening up, we're getting married May 29, 2021. I think a lot of people are really excited to come to our wedding because it's like their first vacation after the shutdown, and it's been like everyone's been cooped up in their homes for about a year. So I think that's gonna really bring the energy and the vibe, and it's gonna be like amazing. We are getting married at the Garza Blanca in Cabo. It's such a stunning resort. If you guys can Google it, it was built in 2019. It's brand new. I don't think they did a good job like advertising it enough. I know they have one in Puerto Vallarta that like people love. Oh, by the way, I'm so sorry. I'm grabbing the darker shade with that same brush I used with the more reddish color, and I'm gonna work it on my outer eye just to blow it out a little bit. But anyways, yeah, so it has such a good reputation in Puerto Vallarta, and I don't think like people really know about it in Cabo. So I honestly think we were like one of the first weddings they had, like they're hosting, or maybe one of the first 10. So there are like definitely some, you know, growing pains we have to go through with that, and language barriers. I think it's just hard to plan anything remote, but we might go there soon, do a little site tour again, do our tastings for the food and the cake because we don't want to miss out on that. We hear that that's like the most fun part about the process. I'm just cupping my eye, by the way, because there's light shining through and it doesn't really accurately show you how much the depth that you're applying in terms of the dark shade. I'm just kind of working my way around my globe. It's coming out actually really pretty. Maybe I should just do a day of wedding vlog. Let me know, comment and like if you want to see that, and I will actually try to do it. Those of you admiring my beautiful lips, these are freshly tattooed, or should I say lip blush, by the most talented lip blusher you probably have like seen, not only on Instagram but in real life, of course. Her name's Bethany and she has her own little business called Plush Aesthetics. She did my eyebrows too, and wow, just crazy talent. She just knows exactly what to do. She's really good at color selection. Listen, you can carve out a pretty lip shape, but if you don't know your color, it's just not gonna look good. So shout out to Bethany for keeping me looking good. So I'm really happy with the buildable brown that we put on. Let me blend a little bit more. Like I said, this is my wedding day makeup, right? You guys didn't know this, but we're having a 3-day celebration. The first night, which is Thursday night, we're gonna do like an Indian, like it's called a Mehndi. A Mehndi is a little party for an Indian bride the night before the wedding, where her and her girlfriends and her family members all get together and they have henna, or what we call Mehndi, applied on their hands, the palms of their hands, back of their hands. Some people go all the way up to the elbow, they do their back, some people, their feet, and up to the knees even. And it's so pretty and I love this tradition so much. So I really wanted to incorporate that because I'm just so proud of it. Every time I'd go to India, we'd see like these beautiful dress stores of gorgeous saris and lehengas and, you know, shalwar kameez, which is like our Indian garb. And I knew I couldn't wait one day to wear that red, beautiful outfit that's like red and gold and gemstones and bangles and bindi. I love it. I'm just a girl who loves dressing up. So I wanted to make sure to incorporate that in the wedding. And Hani has a lot of his Arabic traditions that we're gonna incorporate too. So it's gonna be really cool to see the hybrid of those traditions at the wedding. And then the next day is gonna be pool. We're gonna do a little pool party. I didn't really get into planning that yet. So lots of fun stuff. I'm gonna move on to the eyelid color. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this matte cream shade. And I was going back and forth on whether I should put a little shimmer on my eyelid to make it pop, but my photographer said that she can actually edit that to make it pop a little bit more, which is really cool. And it made me feel better to hear that, because if I don't like my makeup or how I did it, she can like enhance it on photography. Her name's Michelle and she works with V Tyler Photography, which stands for Vivian Tyler Photography. And she's on Instagram. Like honestly, the way she edits photos, which it's like where the magic happens, is, oh, she's just so good. She has like a very moody vibe to her photos, and to me that's really authentic. I've noticed a lot of photographers like blow out, like it makes it look super white, and like you can't really capture the magic because everything looks so damn filtered, you know? And she had like a lot of nice contrast and just a vibe. It's a vibe. It's such a vibe. I'm so Kim K right now. No, I'm just kidding. That's looking okay. I kind of want to make it a little prettier than that. I don't know if you guys remember this palette. It's like probably one of the first that Anastasia Beverly Hills came out with. It's the World Travel palette, but I freaking love that pink champagne color she put in there. Every time I wear this on my eyelids, people are like, what is that? So I'm gonna apply with my ring finger and just lightly pack it. So I know I said I wasn't gonna do the shimmer, but I felt like this just needed a little something special. Because I put like a shadow on underneath, it's not really grabbing the pigment. I'm going to use a flat brush. This is a MAC 242 brush and the MAC Fix Plus spray, and I'm gonna spray it and then dip it into the shadow so that it can stick, and then I'm just gonna pack it on. And now we see a lot more pigment payoff, and that is something else. What a beauty. So I grew up with my mom always like looking in the mirror. But by the way, my mom does not like injections. She does not think that it's needed or necessary, and always says like, I earned my wrinkles. And I like honestly love that about her, because she's so humble and not vain, and like makes me think, how did I become this way? But I think I like it because of the art of it, and I really do enjoy making people feel good about themselves. As cheesy as that sounds, I prefer injecting others than myself. But anyway, she would always like put on a little bit of makeup and then she'd sit back, she'd like, oh, I'm so beautiful. And I think I saw that as a little girl, and so now as an adult I like imitate it. I'll like, you know, be doing my makeup and I'll be you know, step back and in front of Hanny, I'll be like, oh, I'm so beautiful. And it's such a good positive image that she instilled in me, because you really believe what you think, right? Try it out. It works. It definitely works. All right, I'm gonna go underneath my brow and make that brow bone pop. So I'm going to use, I honestly don't know where the heck I found this. It's called Brandon, but I've used this since I was 15. And I really like this light color that comes in the Mario palette. So I'm just gonna pop some of that underneath the brow, help clean it up. By the way, every time I wear this underneath my brow when I work at Beauty Boost, the Anastasia Pro Pencil to carve up my eyebrow, everyone's always like, oh, your eyebrows look so great. But really it's this pencil helping define the shape. So, and of course, Bethany's work. That is looking pretty good. A little tip is that always try to look at yourself with your eyebrows relaxed. I'm constantly doing this to like look at myself, and I know I like do for Botox, but I encourage you to just relax your brows, because that's sometimes like that's just how you're gonna look, right? When you're not trying so hard during your special day. So at rest, I noticed that I need to build up the shadow a little bit behind my lid. I'm gonna go back and use my fluffy brush and build a little bit more. I'm gonna take these two colors and just do a little glow out. Next, I'm gonna grab my eyeliner. I'm gonna use some MAC Technical eyeliner. It's an eyeliner cudgel in Graph Black. And I first always like to line the waterline of my upper lash line, and it makes it just easier to do before the top lid eyeliner, in my opinion. Actually, you could do either, it doesn't matter the order. Because I don't want it too intense for my wedding, I'm gonna go ahead and put on some brown eyeliner so it just softens it up a little bit. I'm going to choose, I found this at Sephora when I was grabbing the palette, Mario's dark brown eyeliner. It's called the Perfect Brown, and I just remind me of Kim Kardashian because she always has such a pretty brown liner on. And I'm just gonna go ahead and lightly line the upper lash line. I used to be so much more careful with my makeup, but as you get older, you realize you just stop giving a damn. I don't know. And the less you try, I swear, the better it comes out. It's like, it's weird how that works, right? Okay, so that's not like as like what I want it to be, but so I'm going to dip in tight waterline brush. It's the Sigma Flat Definer Brush E15, and I dipped into the darkest brown on the Mario palette, and I'm literally just trying to smoke out that dark brown eyeliner I put on by Mario. I feel like this helps make it look a little more diffused, a little more effortless, a little more glam. So now that we're done with that, I'm going to wipe up my underneath my eye to clean up. Just grabbing a Neutrogena wipe. I just like cleaning up. I used to use like the tape underneath my eye to create that nice sharp wing that we used to do back in the day, but I kept tugging on my under eyelid skin, and as an injector, I know that that's like the most delicate skin and it could stretch out really easily. So I stopped doing that because I don't want to make it looser, saggier, which means it will turn more wrinkly. Not a big deal, but if you can control it, why not? Now this is the hard part for me because I don't know what lash looks to put on. I really love that spiky lash look. I think it looks like baby doll and it makes your eyeshadow show, but Hanny does not like that. So I'm going to try on a couple different pairs and see what's best suitable for me. I'm so sorry, but I do not know what any of these lashes are. I'm just gonna show you how I store my lashes. I got this little like beaded organizer from Michaels, and I put all my lashes in there. So I never know what lashes I have, which is kind of stupid on my part because I like lashes, and if I like it, I don't know what the heck they are or where they're from. So I decided to pick up these lashes from my lash box. They're kind of spiky throughout, but fluffy. So I'm hoping Hanny and I can meet halfway. I'm pretty sure this is a Huda lash in Hoodie or Samantha, one of the two. I really like it, but it's kind of hard to work with the band. So we'll see. Hopefully it won't be problematic on my wedding day, but when it comes to these more thicker bands, I like to kind of wiggle it up and make it more flexible so it's not as stiff on my eyelid. So that's a little trick. My favorite eyelash glue of life is the Duo one with the plastic wand. It makes it so much easier to apply versus the ones with the brush that gets all clumped up and goopy and gunky. I know there's like a tinted brown one for Duo, but I just find that this clear one works the best. And plus, if you mess up, it doesn't like drag over your eyelid. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other one. Usually I have a mini fan next to me, but it's in my bathroom and I'm just going to blow on them. But usually I get my mini fan and speed up the process that way. I'm gonna go ahead and pop these on using my little tool from Velour, and I will be right back. Lashes are on and I think they look gorgeous. Honestly, like super glam, really pretty. Not gonna lie, they're a little hard to get on, but they're on. Couple thoughts in my head as I'm applying these on for the big day. Say for example, I don't get a corner like all the way in and I'm like looking down and I get a photo taken of my eyelids. Like what if like a little edge is up? You know, little stupid things like that. I think like, okay, maybe lash extensions would be a good idea, but is it too soon to try it? Please let me know, comment below. I wanna know your guys' thoughts. I've never done lash extensions. I actually have really nice lashes thanks to Lash Boost from Rodan & Fields. It's like literally the best lash serum. I even put it on my eyebrows and I love it, but yeah, let me know if that's a good idea. I'm gonna move on to the face. I usually like to do my under eye makeup after I do the rest of my face. So I'm gonna put on one of my favorite primers of life. That is the Cover FX. It's a blurring primer and pore minimizer. And what I like about this is it keeps my makeup on like no other. This is literally like cement for your face. So I'm just gonna apply that on. I usually just like to do it with my hands. I know people do primers with a brush, but I just don't think that's really necessary. I like to put it all the way up underneath my eye, because this helps fill in the fine lines underneath the eye, so that way the concealer underneath doesn't settle in those fine lines. And of course the T-zone I like to pack on a little bit more. By the way, I highly recommend this for you girls on your big day or planning for a special event. Get dermaplaned. Dakota dermaplaned me a week ago and my makeup application is literally flawless. My skin looks like it's airbrushed. So pretty. I didn't know those little peach fuzzes really hold on to makeup and makes it wear off a little bit quicker. So pretty. I'm gonna have her do me again right before my big day. Next, I'm going to grab the NARS. This is the best foundation if you want this shit to stick. Literally, I have to put it on, like do a double cleanse because this stuff does not come off. And usually I like my makeup to look glowy, but this keeps me nice in between, like radiant, but kind of matte. I'm in the color Barcelona. I think it's a little too tan for me, but your girl's gonna look tan for the wedding, so I ain't mad at it. I'm gonna apply it with this new bestseller like Shiseido brush that I keep hearing about. I'm just gonna, I like to pump it on the back of my hands, dab, 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 and then we're gonna go for a swirl. So as I'm applying this, I know a lot of people like to know what have I done on my face in terms of injection, and I'm gonna go ahead and share that with you, because I mean, I would wanna know too, and I'm very open when it comes to this stuff. I mean, I'm an injector for crying out loud. To say this is all natural, I'd be so lying. This is my jawline. I was really lucky to have good bone structure, I guess. This is not filler. I have done filler a little bit in the jawline. Didn't do much because I have the bone structure there, but I will tell you, I definitely reduced my jawline with Botox massa reduction. And I always say this to my patients, like who are thinking about massa reduction. Out of all the procedures I've done on my face, including plastic surgery, which is a lip lift and the rhinoplasty, in case you're wondering, hands down my favorite, massa reduction. My face was so full because my masseters, the tree muscles back here, were so large that made my entire face look round. So when you can shrink those muscles with Botox, which is literally a muscle relaxant, it can shrink the whole jawline. So you look a lot leaner and just, in my opinion, more contoured if you desire that look. I've done that. These are my natural cheeks. So I've not done my cheeks or jawline. I have done my temples. The temples definitely hollowed throughout age. I think I'm due for a little bit more, to be honest. I personally like sculpture my temples. It's longer lasting. It's a collagen builder, so it's not like gel, like filler. By the way, I'm extending this down my neck. I've done 2 sessions. Sculpture is best seen at the 2 to 3 session mark. And what I like about temple filler is it actually helps your brows lift. So yes, you can achieve it with a Botox brow lift, but a little volume around the eyes helps reposition the tail ends of the brows up, which is really, really pretty. Now that my face makeup is done, really happy, I'm going to color correct a little bit under my eyes. I've done under eye filler here. Under eye filler is really tricky. It's not for everyone. Under eyes is something that I've always struggled with, and I found that the best thing for my under eyes and a lot of my more ethnic girls in terms of Hispanics and Middle Easterns, we do really well with PRF. It's Platelet Rich Fibrin. Really quick, I am color correcting. I'm using the YSL Touche Eclat Radiant Touch in the color 1, and it's like a peach undertone. I hope I did not get my new robe dirty. I need this pretty for the day. Big day. Wow, I just put out a lot of this product. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it on my darker areas, like the inner corner, kind of along the line. I have this nice blue vein here, and the outer corner where I have a little bit of redness. But anyway, Platelet Rich Fibrin is something we extract from your own blood. We post a lot about it on Beauty Boost. I'm not gonna go over it too much in depth here, but what it essentially does is it rebuilds the skin underneath the eye that's really thin and it shows a lot of darkness, and that in the long run brightens the under eye. So under eye filler fills, right? It fills hollows, but it doesn't brighten. So if you're looking strictly for the brightening piece, which in itself can do so much, I'd encourage you to try the more natural approach. Even though I love my filler, under eye filler does just not look good on everyone. I am going to grab my new favorite find. It's the Dior Forever Skin Correct in the shade 6N as a Nancy, and this is so luxurious and divine. Like, I cannot even explain it. Like, it's creamy, it's not cakey, it's really natural, it's radiant, it stays on forever. I tried Shape Tape. I mean, everyone loves it, whatever. I didn't think it's that great. I, used NARS forever. This guy, it was my favorite. And then my everyday one is this Maybelline eraser. And I like it, it's nice and natural, but this one, what a beauty, what a beauty. I'm gonna go ahead and damp my sponge and I'll be right back. I have my damp sponge, I'm using the Real Techniques one. I have the Beauty Blender one and I have this one, and it's, honestly, I use whatever's clean. I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out. I've been seeing on TikTok a lot lately, like, you're supposed to put concealer on this way, not that way. And in my head, I'm thinking like anatomically wise, like, you should apply it wherever you have your hollows. Like, I think a lot of people wanna like guide you on like the correct way to put under eye concealer, but it varies person to person. I always find it funny when they're like trying to say like, this is the new way, when really it's, you just apply it where you have the hollow. Anyways, yeah, that's just my little 2 cents. So after I blend it, I'm gonna go ahead and set it. I really, really love the setting powder. I'm not into loose powders. I think loose powders and baking is definitely for a certain type of person. I mean, I love it if you have the patience, but for me, it looks too chalky and it just never settles pretty. So I blend without even blinking or looking down. I'm not looking down. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury micronized powder in the shade, I think, medium. I'm grabbing my fluffy brush. This is by Kat Von D. I'm not blinking, I'm not looking down because I don't want it to crease, and I'm just setting it. When I look down, it's gonna crease this little guy I have here, so I don't want that to form. And that looks really pretty. Same thing on the other side. Back, and then set. Gorgeous. Other things I've done to my face, I already said I had a rhinoplasty. I had it by Vladimir Grigorians. He's an amazing Armenian doctor in Glendale, and I got him like, I think right out of like residency, and he was like talented right away. And now he has like a wait list, which I'm so proud of him. He does great work. I don't even know if he remembers me, but shout out Dr. Grigorians. You did such a cute little nose. You guys know I got my lip lift. I did a vlog on it. I did my tattoo, my lip blush. I've done my chin filler. I have a little dimple in the chin. Not that I wanted it to remove it, but pulling me out a little bit more better balanced my nose and lips and elongated my jawline since I like that. I've done my neckline filler. I am due, and I do some microneedling treatments. That's the gist of what I do, which I know is a lot for the average person, but as an injector, it's not that much. I'm gonna grab a big fluffy brush and set the rest of my face with the micronized powder. And this is called the Airbrush Flawless Finish in the shade medium. The reason why I like to set it all over is because when you go into your powders for bronzers, it doesn't like catch as much. I thought about doing cream contours for my wedding day, but I don't know, cream contours are not for me. I've definitely wanted to be a cream contour girl, but it just did not work. I'm gonna move on to bronzer. Bronzer, this guy, I guess, got like the bronzer choice of 2020, and it's called Bare Minerals and Faux Tan. And I'm using a huge fluffy fan brush by Morphe. It's the E33 one, and I really, really like this in terms of applying a diffuse makeup application. I'm just going along the hairline. I personally like doing this for my face because my forehead is a little bit large. Not a big deal, but by putting bronzer on it, it just helps kind of make it look a little bit smaller in terms of contour and balances the rest of the browns in the face. What I have seen on TikTok that I am enjoying lately on my own face is putting bronzers on my cheekbones instead of in the hollows of the submalar area, which is this part here. I think for someone who has higher set cheekbones like me or fuller face, this looks really good, but I don't recommend it for those who are trying to build up a cheekbone because then it makes you look more flat. That makes sense. We always want to chase contours with, if you're trying to accentuate a contour, it's important to not overly highlight it. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to blush. I'm picking the NARS Orgasm Staple Blush, and I'm gonna grab a fluffy one from the Real Techniques. This is in 400, and I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it to the apple. Again, on TikTok, they're saying to like put it like more on your like highlighter area, but again, think of anatomy in terms of like what you want to look a little more fuller and more rosier. I don't know. that's like the best way I could describe it. Maybe I should do more of like an anatomical lesson for makeup artists. Wouldn't that be cool? I should do that. I'm not gonna do any highlighter. There is a little sheen to the Orgasm and I don't wanna look too shiny or oily, so I'm gonna skip highlighter. I am gonna do a little nose contour to help sharpen that up, and I'm going to grab a little tiny, small little brush like this. This is the Morphe E36, and I love the contour from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Filmstar Bronze and Glow Face Sculpt and Highlight in the shade Fair to Medium, and it looks like this. And what I love about it is that it has like this gray matte kind of contour, not the red undertones that you typically get in bronzers, if that's, you know, what you use to contour your nose with. I'm just going to, because I had a nose job, I really don't need to do this, but I like it to look a little more snatched in photos. And I'm gonna just go ahead and contour the areas where I think I need it. I know there's like different ways you can contour your nose. Anatomically speaking, mine gets a little bit larger in the middle, so I'm just gonna focus the contour in the middle part. I think I will put a little bit of highlight down the center of my nose, but something very, very light, like the one that comes in the palette. I'm gonna use just a fan brush. The one I have is by Morphe, it's the M310, and I'm just gonna go lightly down the bridge of my nose and just focus a little more on the tip. I'm gonna see how this looks in photos tonight on my date with Hanny and determine if I do like that highlight or not. Little redness is underneath my nose. I'm just gonna go ahead and use the residual I have from the concealer underneath my eyes and brighten up that area. By the way, I have like no scar for my lip lift. Ben Tilley is so damn good. Shout out to you, Ben. You do incredible work. I'm gonna go ahead and buff out the little contour I had with the setting powder I used earlier for my under eyes, and that makes it look a lot softer. So let's move on back to under eyes. I finished my face makeup for the most part, and I'm gonna go back to the Mario, the Perfect Brown, and line the inner rim of my waterline. I swear Kim K always does this with this pencil, or maybe got inspired by whatever pencil he puts on Kim to create this, but I freaking love it. Black is a little too harsh on us girls with like dark eyelashes and brows and eyes, and this just kind of makes it like a nice brown, but not too intense, even though it looks intense on camera. I'm gonna go back to his palette and pick up the brown that I used to buff out the wings, so it's gonna be this guy. And I'm just gonna go ahead and buff out the waterline and drag it through. I kind of like that intense under eye. I tried the white pencil waterline because I think that looks so pretty on brides, but for me, photos did this look last weekend. It looked a little too blank in my opinion, so I'm here for the drama. And we're just gonna have it smoked out here. Sultry, sexy. Yes, queen. I used to love blowing out my lower lids with like an orange or like red undertone shadow. Shout out to those who did the same. I think I might just do a little bit today too. Bringing it back to 2015 when I went to the club. Miss that. No, I don't. I'm a married woman. I want a club, but we can't. It's 2021. No clubs are open. Now we get married and have babies. Literally. No, but it's great to grow up. All right, so I'm gonna get a little pencil brush and do this, I think is a MAC one. I'm not sure of the number. I think it's 219. I'm gonna pick up one of the browns that I used in the beginning for the crease, and we're just gonna maybe blow it out a little bit. Just a little bit. Me and my bestie Stevie love saying little bits. I don't know where we got that from, but little bits, little bits. That is actually really pretty. Go Nisa, go, go, go Nisa. Should we do a wing? Should we do a wing? No, we're not gonna do a wing. We're gonna go back to the tight liner brush. Kind of like a roux. I know, so gross, but just not gonna go in my eyeball, so no infection here. Just gonna go in and add a little more drama to the outer link. We wanna make sure that the eye looks nice and big. With age, they do get smaller. The orbital rim tends to widen and their socket of our globe starts to kind of come in with the eyelid. So if you guys feel like your eyes kind of got smaller with age, it's true, it did. Sad story. All right, I'm gonna go back in with, not back in, I'm gonna go ahead and use some mascara. I love this Chanel one. I use this every single day. It is so much drama, but your girl's here for it. It just makes your lashes look like they're fake every day. Not that like I'm trying to go for that look, but it's just so nice and full and fluffy. And like if you're gonna do mascara, do it right, you know? Usually I like to do mascara first and lashes second to preserve the lash, but if if it's your wedding day, just, you know, suck it up and sacrifice those lashes. Really pretty. I know I have some like harshness here. I'm gonna grab a stippling brush. This is the MAC one, 187. And I like this because it helps just blend any like splotchy areas. For my bottom lash, I like to use something completely separate. This is so extra. You don't need a bottom lash, but I'm gonna do it. This is the Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes from Charlotte Tilbury. The wand is really unique. It comes like, it's kind of flat, and then it has like spikiness on the other edges. So I don't know how to describe it, but I think it really helps define each and every little lash at the bottom without looking too clumpy like the upper lash mascara would. And that just looks nice and soft. So pretty. Damn, I'm good. Damn, I'm good. No. Well, you know, I'm trying my best here. I'm gonna grab a little dome shape brush. This is the Morphe E18. I'm gonna go in with the shade that I used to highlight my brow bone. I'm gonna go do it in the inner corner to help brighten that guy up. So just pack that on, swirl. I used to love doing this back in the day with some shimmers. I thought I was such an artist back then doing that, and you know, that was a trend. So it's so cool to see how makeup evolves over the years, and sometimes I'm like, I don't have time to like catch up, and I'm like, oh my god, what am I missing out on all these trends? I'm gonna set my brows. Like I said, they're already microbladed. I did do a little touch up at the tail ends for drama. Off camera, I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's honestly the best one. I'm in the shade, this guy, I'm in the shade medium brown. It's just so pretty. I'm using her brow gel too. I like it because it doesn't make it shiny. It's literally like super glue for your eyebrows without it looking too crunchy. And I just like to do that, so make sure it stays in place. Might be windy, who knows? Or not that your brows would blow in the wind, but you get what I'm saying in case a little brow gets out of place. Okay, and in the center, I'm going to put Creme de Nude. Such a pretty nude, and this is from MAC. And it has a really light sheen to it. I always like to blend my lipsticks with my lip liner with my finger. It just makes it look way more natural. Oh my god, so pretty. Finally, I'm going to go ahead and set my face with the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. I'm sure there's better ones out there that has a more, I don't know, the spray kind of can get a little chunky when you spray it, but I still like it. It feels like hairspray for your face. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my hair off camera and then we'll do the reveal. Okay guys, so this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this little getting ready with me makeup trial for my wedding day. I really liked how it came out, and it gives me a little more confidence and reassurance that I can do this myself, and you guys can too. These makeup trials day of are kind of pricey when it comes to wedding planning and budgeting for your wedding. So if you guys practice this, practice makes perfect. This will come out beautiful, and trust yourself. So I hope you guys like this. If you like it too, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.